I'm Kyle with Cabot Guns. I'm going to show you an alternate way to take the slide off of your 1911. So first thing you want to do, obviously you always want to clear your pistol. From there, while you still have your hammer back, one trick that's kind of nice is to just put the thumb safety up. That way your slide can't move on you, you're not fighting it with the spring, and you'll be able to unload the spring pressure before you push it back to remove the slide stop. So while it's in this position, take your bushing wrench and you will be depressing the recoil cap, recoil spring cap with the bushing, and then slowly turning this. I like to do it with my hand in this position. That way, when the spring unloads, the recoil cap doesn't shoot across the room, causing you to have to go searching for it later. With this way, you can also remove the spring now if you want, or leave it in. And now the slide is not under spring pressure, so you can lower the thumb safety and pull the slide back, and it won't go anywhere. So the next step is to remove the slide stop, which is the piece that links the barrel to the frame. In order to take this out of the gun, you need to line the nodule on the slide stop up with the second notch. Now the second notch I'm talking about is the one that's closest to the back of the gun. Once you have that lined up, you'll want to push it from the other side. We have a nice big chamfer on our frames. Makes it real easy to just push that in with your index finger, and you'll see it start to come out away from the frame. Then you can just kind of get your fingers underneath there, pull it out the rest of the way, and the slide will slide right off forward. You can take your guide rod out, and then if you want to remove your barrel and clean it, you can just slide it forward so that the bearing surface of the bell is outside of the bushing and make it a little easier to turn this. And you can turn it the other direction until the nodule on the bushing itself is in the opening on the slide. And then the bushing will slide right out. Your barrel will slide out the exact same way, and you've just field stripped your 1911. Now to put it back together is basically the reverse of what we did, but we'll go through it, starting with putting the barrel inside the slide. Pretty self-explanatory. You just want to make sure that the link is not pushed all the way back. Rock that forward, slide the barrel into the slide most of the way. I leave it sticking out an inch or two so that you can slide the bushing on here without having to fight the slide. Your bushing you want to slide in, again, the same way it came out, that lug needs to be in the clearance there in the slide. Push that till it's all the way into the slide, and then you can turn it as far as you can the other direction. It'll actually stop when it's in this position. Then slide your barrel back in until it pivots down. Put your guide rod in, and just like I talked about before, you want to make sure that the link is all the way down right now when you put the slide back on. That'll make lining the slide stop up a lot easier. So I think it's easier to put the spring on right now as well. So once you have your barrel in your slide, your bushing in position, and your guide rod and spring in, you can go ahead and slide your frame right into your slide rail there. The slide needs to come back so that the opening for the slide stop nodule is lined up with the notch closest to the back. You want that the one back towards the cocking serrations is the one you need to have lined up. We've shown this in other videos, but there is a groove machined in the face of it that will help guide the slide stop into the frame. You have to actually depress the plunger a little bit to get it to snap into place, and you'll hear it click. That's the plunger end overcoming that small groove on there. So make sure that lines up. And once it's lined up, it actually will not want to move very much. So you'll know it's right because everything will be lined up and it won't wiggle on you. Once that's ready, again, just make sure that your notch out of the slide is still lined up with the slide stop, and then it'll just click right into place. Slide your slide forward into battery. Put your recoil cap on the end of the spring. You have to compress this all the way and then turn your bushing a little bit. I like to turn it just enough so that it catches the outside of the recoil cap. At this point, you know, it won't shoot out unless you turn the bushing. And in order to turn it the rest of the way, again, grab your bushing wrench and depress the recoil cap and turn it into position. That's it.